bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate the world, peaches ripe.
Hello,
Hey, how
welcome.
you guys doing?
Hi.
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.
Okay, so I guess first things first, what's purity culture? Because I may be against the idea of forcing any kind of culture on anyone, so please.
So purity culture is essentially derived from evangelical Christianity.
Right.
It really focuses around sex being a negative temptation prior to marriage.
Hmm.
That women should pledge their virginity to their fathers
Yeah,
and
that's weird.
essentially
That's
hold themselves responsible for making sure they stay pure to have a holy relationship with God.
right. I think we're on the same page there. I do consider myself a Christian and all that stuff, but I also understand the weird cultish nature of many people in the Christian faith. And
I am so sorry, but I love that you just said that because I was raised Catholic and obviously they're not the same, but so
yeah,
many people would get mad at me when I would call out like the church for stuff or like call out like church goers. They'd get so mad and
right.
they'd be like, "You hate God." And I'm like, "No, I just have to be able to see the own like hypocrisy."
Well, I've had many weird conversations with priests in general because, like, I was a part of the Catholic Church or going towards getting baptized into the Catholic Church, and I kind of went away from it because the priest I was talking to said the only reason marriage exists is to make babies. Which really sat with me weird because, like, what if two people who can't have a baby? Like, I agree, like, it's great to procreate and all that, but if two people who can't have a baby fall in love, uh, and their marriage is pointless at that point in the eyes of the church. If they decide to get married, it just seemed it sat with me really, really long. I had to think about it for a long time, and I was like, I guess Catholicism isn't the denomination for me because that
Not
sounds like a meat factory for a lack of a better term. If you're just only
Yeah,
if men and women
I
only meet each other to keep pumping out babies, that's a weird vibe.
right. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me with the King Irish guy, but no, I find that stance on sex to be very dehumanizing.
yes.
Right, right. Now, I'm sure we can find many things to disagree on, uh, but
Oh, great. Let's pick one.
okay. So I was
We're
in
running
a
today.
live earlier, and I don't know.
Pro-choice is my best topic. Are you
Right.
pro-choice?
Mine too.
I am pro-life. Sorry guys. I am
Well,
on.
here we go.
Well, there's
Okay,
that.
well, in thank you in advance for allowing me to have an opinion on this as a man and all that stuff. I know people are big on that not being a thing.
Well, I'm a feminist, so I think men can have their opinion.
Thank you. I like that
You're
kind of
welcome.
feminism.
I know.
Earlier,
I love how you apologize for being pro-life.
That was really funny.
uh, yeah, I try to be as non-confrontational in these because I really do want to hear your side, and I don't think, like I don't want to be the type of person to be like, I think you're going to hell because I believe in God's grace. I don't even technically believe that much in that type of. I don't think you should be a Christian to get into heaven or hell. I think you should be a Christian to be a good person. I think that's a fair stance on the whole situation. But that being said, I don't want babies to die, and I do believe a fetus is a child, and I know right there there's got to be something we disagree there, right? That sentence
Yeah,
can't sit
yeah.
right. Like,
Like what qualities does a fetus have that makes it a child?
well, it's uh, what qualities? I mean, it's a living human for the most part. Like from where I sit and stare.
Or where you sit and stare? Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I see it. I see it as the fruits of the labor of two people. coming together. And I understand sometimes there could be a horrible situation that causes pregnancy. I also sometimes like if it's the choice between a mother's life and a baby's life, I'm open to an abortion there. Like I'm not gonna sit there and say you need to die for this to happen.
So you are pro-life because to you a fetus has value.
Right, yes.
So,
Intrinsic value.
so I assume in the instance of sexual assault, you would not be for abortion?
You know, it's a really rough situation, but when the chips are down, if it were up to me, I would like that pregnancy to come to term.
Okay. So what gives why is human life valuable?
Human life is valuable because it's the only thing we have.
Right, but
It's
so you would you agree that life has nuance?
yes.
Yes. So like an apple is alive, but it is alive attached to a tree. You know, is it
Right.
immoral to pick that apple?
No.
Why?
Oh, because the apple gives us sustenance. It sits on a different level of a different level of, I guess right now food chain would be fine, but it sits on a different level of being.
Okay. So we can agree that like plant life and animal life and human life are different,
Yes. Yeah, that's
and
fine.
that we give more moral consideration to animals than we do necessarily to plants, and we give more moral consideration to humans than we do to animals in some circumstances.
In general, at the very least, it's fair to say
Yeah.
on
And why?
cultural aspect.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, but culturally speaking, most of the time animals get the second amount of respect if you're around
Right.
good people, at least, and
Right. So
then
I'm
humans.
not saying animals aren't without rights.
Right.
I'm just saying that there is a difference between human life and animal life, and because of
Yes,
that,
and
we
then
do give.
human life would be tantamount as far as caring about its existence and its safety. I guess would be a fair
So,
word to use.
what makes human life special in that sense?
Well, I guess as a human, I would assume that you would find it to have intrinsic value, just
Why?
naturally, because it's an extension of you. It's an extension of your reality. It's an extension of existence.
Right, but why do humans have more value, intrinsic value than, let's say, animals or plants?
Like I said, because I'm a human.
So, I think that opinion is circular, just saying that humans are valuable because they're human. If I
I find
look
it
at
quite
what,
logical. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't know. I find it quite logical to want to have the best
well, it's
for
like
what you
saying
are.
I like apples because they're apples.
Well, I do like apples because they're apples. I've eaten an apple
Right,
and
but
said I
there's
like.
specifics to why you like apples because they're
Right.
crunchy, because they're sweet. And so I'm asking you, what specific qualifiers make humans' life inherently valuable?
Because they have the ability to make life better for other humans. Because they have the ability to live in general and experience life through the human condition that we all want to continue to spread forth and be as happy. And I know I see exactly what wall it hits when I'm saying this because it's like, well, it won't be really happy if you get raped and then you're forced to have a baby, right? All of a sudden,
No,
all of a
so
sudden you
so my next, I guess my
like,
next question for you would be, um, does a brain dead person on life support have value?
a brain dead person, as in they're never coming back,
Correct.
as their life is over.
they're brain dead and they're attached
Right.
to life support.
Yes, and so they're no longer going to jump up, come back to normal, and live their life. They're not in the process of of being a new life in creation. The life is done. Then yes, no, it's okay to pull the plug.
Right. Okay. So turning off that machine is not immoral.
Right. Now, if that
So-
person was on that machine and they were creating and they were, growing better every day and bigger and stronger and soon to jump back into reality, then it would be immoral.
Well, so now you're just saying that a fetus has value because of its potential.
Yes, yeah. No, I know this. I know this argument, but I've been here before. Yes, I do think the potential is worthwhile.
Why do we give value to potential?
Why do we give value to potential?
Because from like a biological standard, we kind of have to, we take things as face value. So a majority of abortions occur prior to the 13th week. And prior to the 13th week, it's very similar to a brain dead person hooked to a machine.
Right,
And
and
if
then
we
you could
just
even
discover
you
that
could really,
connection,
and I mean, if we really wanted to, we can deconstruct it to every sperm could become a life, right? Every egg
correct.
could become a
And
life.
that was my
And they
next
all
talking
have
point, that when you
potential.
have
Like,
potential, you can just keep going back and back.
but do you feel like just the air in the room leave when we're switching between talking about someone who just came and an actual fetus that has met a sperm that's made the egg start to turn into a baby? Like you do
No,
feel me when
I
I
do
say,
not give value to a fetus until birth.
okay. I mean, that's fair. I can't really change your mind there, right? Like, what would I have to do to make you say, actually, that matters? Do you need a
I
heartbeat?
have
Do
a
you need
good
it?
argument of value.
Right. Do you need a heartbeat? Does it need to put on, a little hat and tap dance? Like, I don't really know what can I,
No, it just
like,
needs to actualize its potential.
actualize its potential. Well, yeah, and even then, it's a crapshoot. There is always a chance being taken, right? Because the baby could come out with half a head and be, and that couldn't be found until 8 months in. Who knows? Like,
Right.
a lot of things can go wrong. You're definitely not guaranteed Gandhi or whatever, even though, I know Gandhi was problematic or whatever. But I mean, just in theory, like,
No, I get what you're saying.
yeah, but I think, given the crapshoot that is life, I think the idea that most fertile eggs that become impregnated and start the process of becoming a child turn out to be livable lives. And I think
No,
that's worth it.
50 to 80% of fertilized eggs do not implant into the uterine wall, and then 50% of eggs that do end up in miscarriage.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.